A great philosopher once said, it's not hot out. Being hot's a mindset. What the fuck was Vic Fangio talking about yesterday? While the temperature is heating up, the Eagles training camp is as well, and the Phillies hot stove, the rumors are kind of going cold. We're going to talk about all that, Phillies, Eagles, and we're going to pick up from the end of yesterday's show, talking about gambling in sports, if it's good or bad, in between. Trending in the AM, we are live here on this Wednesday in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter. As always, please hit those buttons, like, share, and subscribe. It's very important that you hit those three buttons. If you're watching on Twitter, head on over to the YouTube page. Lost a subscriber while we were sleeping, not sure how. Went from 560 down to 559, who knows? But so please like, share, subscribe, and vote on the YouTube poll question. Is the gambling industry ruining sports? Not gambling, gambling industry ruining sports, yes or no? Very simple poll question that we are going to dive into, one that's got a lot going on in it right now, a lot of differing opinions on it that I feel we are going to have some differing opinions on here on this show today. But please hit those like button, share button, subscribe button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm Phil Stiefel. Eagles heating up training camp practice yesterday in the sweltering heat. The pads are on. Today, it's just a closed walkthrough, no media, no real practice today for the Eagles. They'll be back on the field tomorrow practicing as we inch closer to the first preseason game next Thursday night. The Phillies tomorrow afternoon, the MLB Trade Deadline. Rumors swirling and then going cold. Who knows what the Phillies are doing, but they did have a very good, solid 6-3 win. Jesus Luzardo looked fantastic last night. So that is on the docket as well. We got a lot of comments from Brianna just saying, Phillies won. Love it. Absolutely. We got you. Yeah, Adam, I don't know. You know, somebody didn't like my Emiliano Grillo short video from last night, so they had to unsubscribe. Good morning, Rick. How you doing? Hope you are well today. Phillies, yes, absolutely. They give sports guys money. The gambling industry does, make a lot of money, and the gambling industry does give out a lot of money to a lot of people to promote it. And say what you want about the gambling industry, whether it's a big addiction or whatnot, and an addiction that cripples America, etc. Say whatever you want about that. But I stand firm thinking that legalizing gambling still was the right thing. And legalizing gambling and the businesses like the leagues getting in bed with DraftKings, FanDuel, whoever else is the big one right now, is not the wrong thing. It's a great business decision. It's up to the players to just follow the rules that their job sets forth. So that's where I'm going to start with that. Schwarber MVP, he's got to be in the running for it. He absolutely, he hit another home run last night. He's up to 37 home runs. He's got 86 RBIs. We haven't seen a season like this from Schwarber since Ryan Howard. He's hitting 256. He's getting on base at a high clip. Kyle Schwarber is just, the guy's paycheck is just going through the roof right now. Did the Phillies blow a 6-0 lead? No, they did not. They tried. They only won 6-3. They tried to blow it, Marchand, but they didn't. They did not do it. The Mafia would have thrived in these gambling times. Yeah, they took it off the streets, legalized it, made it safer to an extent. And I see a lot of people talk about how gambling is such an addiction, it's bad and should be wrong. Well, drinking's an addiction, it's bad, it's wrong. Drugs is an addiction, it's bad, it's wrong. We're not delegalizing alcohol anytime soon. We see plenty of beer commercials, plenty of liquor commercials all the time. People get DUIs and stuff like that. We don't, whatever. Leagues suspend you when you break those rules as well. I find that when we see an athlete get in trouble, like Emmanuel Clace is right now with the Indians, for potentially throwing pitches or whatever, and they blame the industries and they blame gambling for that, I find it very hard to swallow. When a player like Clace gets suspended, well, he's just on leave right now. He'll get investigated and probably suspended when it's all said and done. When these players get put these positions, they only have one person to blame, themselves. Because they know the rules. Don't gamble. That's it. It's that simple. And yet they do it. And to me, it's a cop-out when they say leagues should never have gotten involved in bed with gambling sites, that gambling shouldn't be legalized. I think it's a cop-out. Grown-ass adults. No, if anybody watching this show broke one of the rules at their job, I have two rules at the Fox's Pizza. You don't steal, and you don't no-call, no-show for a shift. You do those two things, instant termination. No ands, ifs, or buts. That's the rules. Now, you don't follow the rules, you break them, you lose your job. That's what's going on in sports right now. People feel weird about that. Marsh really set the tone with his defense that first inning. Brandon Marsh has had a solid season. People don't realize since his injury, he didn't have a single hit pretty much in April. Maybe he had like one or two. He got hurt, went on the injured list, came back, and has been you could do much worse than Brandon Marsh out there. The people that like legalized gambling are the gamblers. Look, I gamble a lot, Rick. Yes, I do. But I gamble very small amounts. Okay? Whatever. Small amounts, big amounts, whatever. Legalized gambling is no different than legalized alcohol. Your job has rules. And if you get mad at a business, say MLB, for getting in bed with DraftKings and cross-promoting, that's what good business is. You tap into a market. You make money where you can. I don't fault them for that. They put the rules out. Their employees need to follow the rules. If they don't want to follow those rules, then don't play baseball. If you don't want to work at a job that drug tests, go get a different job. Or don't do drugs. It's plain and simple. Keaton Anthony was flashing all different skills last night. Dombrowski ain't paying Kyle. It's going to be, Marshawn, I don't know about you. I feel that they kind of backing themselves into the wall that they have to. But on the flip side, that price tag, whatever, just say it was $120 million before the season started. You got to think he's pushing close to $200 million at this point. 4 years. You're looking at 4 years, $180 million right now for Kyle Schwarber. And it's just going up and up and up. Agreed with Steven. Marsh set the tone in that game with his great defense. Absolutely. I mean, the home run will get the flash, but the defense was very good as well from Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh, like I said, Brandon Marsh is having a great season. Really, based off of what our expectations were for him. If you're too lazy to hop on Rumble, you're leaving money on the table. Yeah, I'm just too lazy. I'm so lazy. People will always blame something for their addiction. Yeah, I mean, that's what addicts do, right? And it's not just an addict. Like some of these athletes, they're not addicts. I'm not an addict. I could stop gambling today and whatever. I just wouldn't be able to do Fairway to Heaven, which some people would like. Most gamblers do it just for fun, or gambling just for fun. Yeah, some people take it too far. The addicts take it too far. But there's addicts in all walks of life. Robert and Seth Johnson being on this roster after 8-1 with general manager malpractice. Look, Nooms, I mean, I don't know where your confidence level is in Dave Dombrowski on this Wednesday morning, but right now I'm feeling hesitant. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling shaky that he is not going to make the moves. Not make the moves necessary to improve this roster. It's just I'm worried. I am worried in Dave Dombrowski's ability to pull the trigger. Great shirt. Yeah, thank you. I'm only wearing this shirt not because the Union are back in first place, because it's a super thin, dry fit material, and it's going to be hot as bleepity bleep in the pizza shop today. So I want to be as cool. I saved this shirt this week specifically for today, my longest of the hot days in the shop. So that is why we're rocking the Union shirt today. We all have to look inward to be better people. We do. I want to be a better person. You want to be a better person. So it is what it is. Joel Embiid has no called, no showed past 2 years. Yeah, so he has. Pretty much. And they let him get away. It wouldn't work in my business. Legalized alcohol doesn't ring certain aspects of sporting events for money. It's more about the integrity of the game more than the legalization. Well, see, here's the thing. Okay? It's about the integrity of the game, gambling, and that's why it's a problem. And I get that, Rick. But it's a very simple choice the players make. You are told you are not allowed to do something to work at this job. And when they get caught, everyone's like, well, it's gambling's fault. It's baseball's fault for getting in bed. No one puts the blame on the players. And that's the problem. They blame gambling. They blame the gambling addiction. They don't blame the players for making a choice. All right? Legalized alcohol, but it doesn't bring certain aspects in sport. You have fights with drunk people all the time at the sporting events. Always Philadelphia fans in disguise, right? There's advertising dollars of Bud Light and everything else all over these stadiums. I think the blame needs to go on the players, not the aspect of legalized gambling, not the aspect of FanDuel and the NBA being in business together. Instead of suspensions, when these players get caught, it's instant banning. You just kick them out. You just fire them. They're done. Phil, your thoughts on Lewis Roberts to the Phillies is a hot rumor. Look, Lewis Roberts, I mean, what do you want me to say about him? In my opinion, obviously he's got the power. Obviously he's a solid defensive player. Has he even really been hitting that great a power? I mean, he's a platoon player. If that is their adjustment, Lewis Roberts, to basically sub out Max Kepler for Lewis Roberts, it really doesn't swing the needle that much, in my opinion. I'd rather just keep the prospects and then move on to Justin Crawford in center field. And then put Marsh in left field or platoon him in with whoever in left field. Like, if you're going to go get Lewis Roberts, I mean, it doesn't really sway much, in my opinion. The Phillies on the back end of all these upcoming contracts, Phil, you have a drug issue, gummies. You have a gambling issue, fantasy football. I don't actually play much fantasy football. Then I don't have a problem. It's not funny to even joke about problems. I'm not confident in Dombrowski until he gives me a reason to be confident in him. Prove it, Rick. And I hope he feels the pressure right now. I feel like he doesn't feel the pressure. I feel like John Middleton, with his words, has given him outs to not make the moves, because even John Middleton has said, well, we're paying a lot of money, these rosters, this roster, and, you can't trade all prospects, and, starters will become bullpen pieces in the playoffs. John Middleton has given Dave Dombrowski an out, if so be. And it's a shame. It's crazy. Union actually playing well this season. Yeah, they had a little hiccup there, like about a month ago, but they're playing great. They're a great soccer team or foosball team. Jim says, I'm more confident in Embiid than Dave Dombrowski making the – whoa. Like, that's a lack of confidence in Dave Dombrowski when you're more confident in Joel Embiid. Like, what in the holy heck are you doing? See, I still got this here. Well, just for Jim. We'll put Jim's logo up. There's a video that I had to use this logo for. See, there's an ad read right there for you. Free ad for Jim right there if you need a realtor. Video dropping Friday morning, guys. The more money, the more they own your ass, the more influence. Oops, I forgot when I put that up. My other graphic popped off. There we go. Where am I on these comments here? Considers random cameos and flashbacks to original movie a good movie. Stop. I don't know. I agree with Jim. I don't know who I got more confidence in, Joel Embiid or Dave Dombrowski, but it's a good poll question. I did say poll. We'll put that up after the show on Twitter. We'll see. Do you like my pizza? A hot dog stuffed crust filled with hot dogs and cheese. No, I do not like that idea. Baseball pizza, is there Cracker Jacks in it? What? Maybe a ref misses a call or calls a phantom holding because his brother has a big bet on a certain game. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I understand that. And it is happening. We're seeing players throw pitches. We're seeing, what was Terry Rozier, what was his situation? Pulled himself from the game with a phantom injury because of an under or something like that. But tell me something, Rick. Do you think that this just all started when gambling was legalized and promoted on TV? This shit's been going on since Henry Hill. Getting guys to throw college basketball games. People think he got arrested for, his drugs, his drug business. No, Henry Hill got arrested because of the gambling scandal. I forget, was it late 60s, early 70s? This has been going on for a long time. It just went from it being an illegal mafia-run business to something the government's taxing. Gambling affecting the outcome of sporting events is nothing new. If you haven't watched the Tim Donaghy documentary on Netflix, I don't even know if it's still on Netflix or not, from the NBA scandal from way back. Cardinal O'Hara kid, NBA ref. You should go watch it. This has been going on for decades. And since the first bet was placed on a sporting event, there has been situations that affect the integrity of a sporting event. And that's why I don't bet much on sports, because I don't trust the integrity. But it doesn't mean I don't want to, that it should be illegal or banned because a couple players and refs have bad integrity on themselves. Good morning, Doc. Hope you are well this morning. More money, more problems, always. Always. Brianna, I love it that you're flooding with lots of Phillies comments right there. No, it didn't just start with legalized gambling. My point is it makes it so much easier and even more prevalent, which is hurting the integrity even further. Yeah, I mean, if you do away with it, it's still going to be a problem, Rick. Okay? And it's very simple. We're not talking about 16-year-olds or 14-year-olds making a mistake. We're talking about grown-ass men choosing to break the rules of their job. It doesn't mean it's the gambling company's fault. It doesn't mean it's the league's fault. It's the player's fault. We don't put the blame on the people cheating. We don't put the blame on the people breaking the law or the rules of the job. There's nothing wrong with gambling. It's the people that think they're better than what the rules say they are. It's about the people. I'll never get caught. Yeah, the Eagles cut one wide receiver, Danny Gray, which is a shame. He was having a good camp. Brought in Iffy a day. I don't even know if I said that even closely right. Young linebacker Shine, absolutely. I think the umpires are gambling on games they call balls. And did you see the Mets game the other day? The umpire in that Mets game. I mean, there was a strike 3 call that was literally at his shoulders. And he looked at the batter, I think it was Juan Soto, and looked at him like, yeah, strike 3. That was an umpire putting his personal opinions on a player ahead of the game. That guy should be out. Right now, Phil is living rent-free. I am. I don't know about that. I never live rent-free. I pay my mortgage. If you do away with it, it will still happen, but at a lesser level. I don't know if it'll happen at a lesser level, Rick. What'll happen is you just won't hear about it. I think it happened more than you realize. Hey, now with social media and the way the media tells stories, it happens more often. Or it gets found out more often. But I bet you this was happening just as much back in the day, in the 70s, the 80s. But media and reporting was a lot different back then. And who was going to report that, let's just make up a random, Reggie White, placed a bet with a bookie and threw a football game? No reporter was going to report on that. A, because they were fearful of the mafia. Nice Smith having a really nice camp, future wide receiver. I actually have not. I have, at this point, Rick, if I was going to make a prediction, I would say Anais Smith, from what I am reading, and Johnny Wilson are on the outside looking in. Right now, your 5 wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jihaad Dotson, who's in his last year of the deal with the Eagles, and then it's Terrence Marshall, if he's healthy. He did get banged up yesterday, and Elijah Cook. Terrence Marshall and A.J. Brown are forming a connection. Elijah Cooks and A.J. Brown have a very close connection as well. Elijah Cooks had a great touchdown catch yesterday from the GOAT, Tanner McKee, or Tom Brady, whatever his name is, yesterday in practice. Those two guys, Anais Smith and Terrence Marshall, are pushing ahead of Anais Smith and Johnny Wilson on the depth chart at this point. There's still weeks to go. There's still regular preseason games to go, but at this point, it is. Phil, your gambling take is valid until it's a direct family member with a gambling problem. Then the attitude changes. Yeah, I get it. Look, Gambling is an addiction, just like everything else. But it's up to the person or the family. Just because there's an addiction there doesn't mean it should be an illegal activity or substance or whatever. We as a society got to be better at helping these people get over it. If it's a real, true addiction, help them get over it. People have their price. We also forget that all the sports organizations also invested online betting, which makes them more prone to corruption. There's corruption in all walks of life. And if I had an opportunity to partner with DraftKings or FanDuel or Bet365 or whatever, why wouldn't I? As a business owner, you make the money you can when you can. There were no claims of scripting of the NFL pre-online betting. Come on, there were always people saying that there was cheating going on in sports. Always. It was just different times. Now with the invention of social media as the top form of media and reporting, we see more about it. We hear more about it. It's more readily in our hands. Why was Clay given a harsh punishment for gambling while Ohtani's punishment? Well, first off, he hasn't been given a punishment yet. He's just been put on leave with pay. So he's still getting paid right now. Okay? So first off, he hasn't been found guilty, Emmanuel Clace, of anything. He's under investigation. Let's make sure we get that out there right now. Shohei Ohtani basically paid his interpreter to take full blame. Plus, Shohei Ohtani's the face of baseball internationally speaking. Shohei Ohtani brings in baseball billions of dollars. Naismith definitely makes the roster banquet. At this point, if today was the final roster cut, he probably would squeak in. But I think Marshall and Cooks are really pushing hard and I have not seen more than one or two times his name dropped so far through training camp. I mean, he's okay. The last time I saw his name was when he was taking punt returns, like practice 2. I don't know. I put a post about a short video about Emiliano Grillo and I lost the sub. Let's wager on whether Phil will hit 600 subs by August 1st. Well, I mean, that's like 2 days away, bro. I don't know about that. I'd set that would be at least a 15-1, maybe 20-1 line on that at least. And Naismith is not having a great camp other than kick returns. These other wide receivers are having great camps. Exactly. These other wide receivers are having great camps. And Naismith might be doing okay, but he's not shining. When people are pushing you for your job, you got to step up your game. And Anais Smith is just doing what Anais Smith does, which is be okay. Yeah. I set the line at 20-1. Who's taking that 20-1 bet? Even late night shows are funded by whatever. If 2 baseball players are accused of gambling on baseball, should the Guardians front office be held responsible or even fired? What did the front office have to do with it? Clace chose to place bets if he's found guilty. Plain and simple. It's up to them to hold him accountable. It's up to the league to hold him accountable, not just a quick suspension. That's the problem. I don't think you are getting what I'm saying. There are no claims of game fixing at a sports league governing bodies until they got in bed. There might have been, Duck, and maybe we just didn't see it, is what I get what you're saying. You're saying once it was legalized, then we were talking about scripted NFL games, etc. But this stuff was going on. We just didn't hear about it. And go watch the Tim Donaghy documentary. They interview the mafiosos and talk about how it's been going on. You didn't hear anything about. Most people don't even know why Henry Hill went to jail from Goodfellas. Most people think it's what the movie said. No, it was going on back in the 70s where leagues were being fixed. Games were being fixed. They just didn't talk about it. Because anything mafioso related was kind of hush-hush. Now it's legal, so you're not upsetting any mafia people by doing that. Phil could have thousands of subs on Rumble. Okay, whatever. I'm a lazy man, like you called me. Before that, it was players and refs. Maybe, okay, so maybe the leagues weren't, maybe the commissioner of the league wasn't getting in. Getting in on the fixing of things. Anias 100% making the team, no doubt about it. There's always a doubt. There's always a doubt. What's Rumble? I know what it is, but he called me lazy earlier in the show, K1, because I don't have a Rumble account. Yeah. Make that bet. I have 40 YouTube accounts to get Phil over the... Yeah. Well, if you have 40 YouTube accounts, A, that's a lot of accounts to manage. B, why aren't all 40 subbed? With the freaking comments. There we go. Goddamn internet, man. Damn internet's been brutal. Okay? It's the internet. I don't know. Can the heat wave really affect your internet? Like, I don't know. I think Henry Hill sending someone over here because I was talking about what Henry Hill really went to jail for. Back to the comments here. I don't know. Can the internet really be affected by the heat wave? I don't know. It's got to be. A lot of players get someone else to make the bets for them, sure, and they still get caught. Anias rent-free. Do you even know what rent-free means? Because sometimes when you use that you're living rent-free thing, I don't think you really know what it means. I'm just kidding with you. I'm telling you, after every suit roll, I say they were so scripted. Cool. What are your thoughts on Cooper Dejean? He seems like he is going to be used all over the field on D this year. I feel he will be able to help disguise formations because of it. Well, the big thing with Cooper Dejean is how much of a push the Eagles are making to make sure he is on the field for every. You always see certain players, cornerback, safeties, linebackers, on the field 100% of snaps on defense. They are making a conscious effort to make sure they find a role for him in every formation so he is on the field 100% of the snaps. And it just goes to show how talented he is. Again, he was a first-round grade at talent going into that draft. There were people that had the Eagles drafting him where they drafted Quinion Mitchell. Okay? So it just goes to show how lucky they are that he fell all the way to the Eagles. But B, also, Steve, that he lives up to that hype. He's just as damn good as we thought he could be. So it's a big deal. It's awesome to see, for sure. Good morning, little G. Hope you are well today. That's only way they could catch Henry Hill for anything how they got Capone for tax evasion. Yeah, absolutely. I always was wondering how Henry Hill got away with not getting whacked for being a rat. It always got me. Fixing YouTube subs will get your live stream frozen. Oh, is that what it is? Probably. It is always a glitch in the matrix for sure. Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut. Love it. It's great advice. You know the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yeah, I do. Coop is young and talented. Who everyone seems to love. Why wouldn't you want him on the field as much as? Well, I don't care if I love him or not. As long as he's a great player, that's why I want him on the field. That is what it is. So yeah, Dejean only played 86 snaps on the inside and over 1,000 on the outside at Iowa. And you know what? I think a lot of people are also making too big of a deal about Cooper Dejean playing on the outside or the inside or at safety because they're talking about base formations, keeping Cooper Dejean on the field in base formations. They ran base formation. I forget the exact number. It was just under average of 5 per game. Okay? I think they ran it like 4.7 times per game base formation. So we're talking about an additional 4 plays only. They run the nickel formation a majority of the time. They run dime just as much as they run base formation. So you're looking at 4 or 5 extra plays. So it almost to an extent is made a big deal. Random Chet with his promotion this week. Philly Press Box Show will be Thursday, not Wednesday. Okay, gotcha. Phillies trade deadline deals. No special guest yet. Okay. Dejean top 60. I know. It's great to see that. That's great respect for Cooper Dejean getting that top 60 after his rookie year. Yeah, we're all wondering. We're all wondering what Chet had to do. Guys, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, please. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Still sitting at 559 subscribers, so we're not inching closer to that 600. We got only 10 likes on the video today. We've been over 15, 16 viewers concurrent, so I don't know what you're doing. So we got 16 votes on our poll, but only 10 likes. So like, share, subscribe. Is the gambling industry ruining sports? 56% say yes, 44% say no so far through this show. So, it is what it is. So, I mean, we can move on to Eagles talk as well. But I just don't the opinions of Duck and Rick on this, this gambling situation. Maybe as a business owner, I feel differently about it. Maybe it's because I'm a business owner why I feel differently about it. You put rules out. Your employees have to follow them, right? 2 subs. Did I lose another? We were at 560 when I went to bed. We went to 559. Am I at 558 now? Did we lose 2 subs now? Oh, no, we're still sitting at 559. So I'd never seen 561. Maybe we got to 561 and I didn't even notice it. 2 birds, 1 show on the BGSE network, Thursday night, 10 p.m. Uncensored and hilarious takes. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Quality, late night, get high, and listen to programming. The gambling incidents definitely seem more voluminous. But Noobs, do you get what I'm saying? That it probably happened, maybe not as much, but a lot more than people realized back in the day. But it wasn't a fun topic to read about in the newspaper, so it would get buried or just not reported at all. Like, it's been going on for a long time. I mean, hell, people were fixing boxing matches like 100 years ago, okay? It just didn't get a lot of the fanfare. It didn't get a lot of the talk. Social media and the way media is presented to the fan base and the instant overreactions to it from the fans because of social media makes it more a prevalent topic, more in our faces than it was in the past. I normally do actually gain quite a few subs during Fairway to Heaven, at least this year, not in previous years, but this year. It's Steven's beautiful face being added to the team, why we normally gain some subs during Fairway to Heaven. Titans trade best wide receiver Brown 3 years ago. They released Tyron Burks. I didn't see that. Gambling is great. Is it a temptation for athletes? Yes. But like you said, they have the rules in place for a reason. They make millions. They shouldn't be gambling anyways. Yeah. Like, look. If it's so bad that you have to gamble and break your rule in your job, then you have an addiction, and you better seek help for it. All right? Creepy things guys say at bar for 1,000, Alex. What did K1 say? That Fairway is usually a sub-magnet. Yeah, I can see somebody walking up. Hey, have you walk up to a bar to pick up a chick? Have you heard Fairway to Heaven's episode this week? That girl would turn. Oh, my God, yeah, I did. Fairway to Heaven could be a matchmaking kind of topic right there. And I do like Emiliano Grillo, even though his short video definitely lost me a sub overnight. I do like Emiliano Grillo 75-1. If we're talking gambling, check out last night's Fairway to Heaven. It's none of that, Phil. It's these instant replays that are completely obvious and still not called. Okay, so again, but that does go back to the social media aspect of it, that you've got keyboard warriors for arguments, but you also got keyboard instant analysis looking for, something wrong. So because every replay is instantly available, it's easier to figure out, right? I mean, hell, back in the 60s, 70s, you could barely, I don't even know, could you record something on a VHS? I don't even know. Like, how did you get a replay of something? If the TV didn't show it, if it wasn't on the 6 o'clock news, you didn't know about the replay or the problem. So again, that goes to social media, why it's such a big issue right now, because you got people out there instantly investigating every bad pitch, every awkward play, every poorly made missed free throw, every bad foul call, every missed strike, every holding penalty that shouldn't have been called or called. Again, it goes back to social media, putting it in our faces more. I don't know. Should we do a power rankings of the most creepy, or who of the core 12 is the creepiest? Oh, man. It's the personal experience, dude, not social media. The social media to me is the why it's so heavily discussed, so heavily caught, so heavily on our minds on a regular basis, thinking things are fixed or not fixed. That is because of social media. You guys, I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, like, subscribe, share, please. I need you to do it. I need you to do it, guys. Let's go. What happened at training camp yesterday? Obviously, Vic Fangio, with another classic, asked about why he was wearing sweats to practice in sweltering heat. Classic Vic Fangio says, in full sweats, that it's not hot out. That's a mindset. Well, let me tell you something, Vic Fangio. I wasn't in sweatpants yesterday at the pizza shop. And I try to keep a positive mindset. And I was hot as fuck yesterday at the pizza shop. And I'm going to be even hotter today. So, Vic Fangio, your mindset talk, a load of horse donkey. And then Jalen Hurts after practice, talking about fatigue from the heat. And he says, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a coward of all cowards because I was fatigued from the heat yesterday. Massively. He was happy everyone pushed through. I wasn't happy that I pushed through. Old children, I don't even know. We're not even going to go into that. Good morning, Judd. How you doing? That mindset got Corey Stringer killed. Refresh me, or here, I'll just type that in. Corey Stringer. Why am I not thinking about that one? Vikings death. American professional football, played football. Died from complications brought on by heat stroke. Oh, the heat stroke thing. Yeah, okay, gotcha. We're talking gambling too. And I'm thinking of gambling. I forgot about the guy that passed out and died. I totally forgot about that. But that's crazy. I totally forgot about that story. It's K1. Who knows what goes on sometimes with this chat? I walked all the way home from Center City to South Philly in the heat to support the Eagles. Now, the buses were overcrowded, and I still got home before seeing a single bus pass me. That sucks. That sucks. I feel like the lack of instant replay use is more because of the referees in sports and the need for them. Refs hate instant replay, especially umpires. Yeah, because that shows when they make mistakes. And look, I feel bad for refs and officials in general. Their job is very difficult. Split-second reactions, all right, and the fact that you have to, not just split-second reactions, such minute difference between a call one way or another. And I'm assuming a majority of them really do truly care about their job and have great integrity, okay? Like balls and strikes, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do. I mean, again, they have the technology to eliminate it. They choose not to. That's another topic. But officiating sports, they're trying to figure out whether a play is passive interference or not while you're running stride for stride with a wide receiver and a cornerback. That ain't easy. Gambling was legalized to provide K1 another source of grief. Is that what it was? Maybe. Do we start taking more calls out of the refs' hands, or do we have to give more team reviews or plays? Or, yeah, I mean, I know some people hate instant replay and replay in general, but if you're not going to eliminate the refs and the umps and the officials, like, you have the technology to make every play fixed. That's a bad call. And we don't utilize it. We limit how many times we can challenge. You don't even need team challenges. You just need a booth with 2 extra refs or umps, officials, buzzing down. Oh, you got that one wrong. Adjust that call. You got that right. Whatever. It's so easy. ABS is there. They're not using it. Umps should not be calling balls and strikes anymore. It's an antiquated method. Absolutely agree. But they choose not to. And it's a joke. Cool, go for it. Knock yourself out with the Rumble talk. I'm going to rumble with you. Hey, NFL replays used to seriously suck. Now the New York City reviews are pretty quick. So just, why even limit them to 3 challenges? Nah, AI Phil will know that eye contact is strictly forbidden on this show. Yeah, he is very creepy. I don't want to know what he's doing with my clone, my digital clone. I don't want to know, Rick, what he would do with my clone. All right? We'll just leave that for his own imagination. I don't even want to think about that. Replay is good for the game. It is. Then there's no arguments. There's no excuses. If you utilize replay the right way, there's no excuses. And also, if you utilize it the right way, solves a lot of problems. Now, I can say the lack of instant replay and need for refs is exactly why gambling is bad, because they are there to allow the rigging of sports. Absolutely. And look, again, rigging of sports has been going on. I mean, what is the first documented case of a boxing match thrown? Let me Google that. I'm actually curious. First boxing match. Let's see. Thrown. Let's see if just thrown works. Okay. Let's say boxing match fixed. The fix. 64. Oh no, they're talking about Sonny Liston. That can't be the list of match fixing in boxing. 1906 was the first. It was a professional football one in 1906. The Canton Bulldogs versus the dominating Massillon Tigers betting scandal. They fixed the series. So since 1906, events have been getting fixed. But now because it's legalized, it's a bigger issue. Yeah, I don't know about UFL's replay system. Baseball should use the same technology that tennis uses for. Absolutely, tennis has a great system there. Absolutely. I'm going to program Phil's digital clone. Whatever. You and my digital clone could go do whatever you want. AC, sorry, there's a few games going on at the same time. They would have to have a full command center. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, Doc. Having a command center is not that hard for them to do at all. Use some of that money they're getting from DraftKings to advertise to create that command system. They have a command center for the NBA. There's like 20 screens up. You got all these people around it. If the NBA could do it, the NFL sure can do it. They were rigging Greco-Roman wrestling. I'm sure they were. I'm sure when Caesar had 150 days of games at the Coliseum, they were being fixed. They knew who was going to win and lose those. Well, maybe not. Has been fixing events as a yeah. I mean, that's deep. That's really, really deep. Really, really, really deep. Like, I think this is a very interesting topic. I really, truly do. And I know we're all on different sides of this coin here in this conversation. But again, I look at it from a business owner standpoint. And that's why maybe also I'm on the sides of the gambling sites and the leagues and not the players' side on this. You know, I know my man Mark Moscatelli. I didn't have time to see if he was free today to talk this. And I know he's very anti-gambling in this topic. But I don't think people understand. It's up to the people not to do it. And that's just the way I feel about it. I lived in Maryland when DFS and gambling was still illegal, so I drove 25 minutes. There you go. Now, that's a degenerate. No. Look, whatever. As long as you are staying within your means and not risking more than you could afford, there's nothing wrong with that. You can easily track the time a foot makes contact with a bag and a ball touching a glove on a clean catch. Absolutely. You can track everything. Back to football. Safety is still an issue. I don't think Blankenship and McCollum are physically talented enough for where this team needs to be. Ducks, at this point, as today, 2 days before the start of August, McCollum is not the starting safety on the team. It's Sidney Brown. Vic Fangio spoke about how Sidney Brown is getting so much better every day in camp. With Drew Makuba being injured and missing a bunch of time lately, since he got banged up late last week in practice, he's getting more and more, time with the ones. He's not splitting time with the ones. I haven't heard of Tristan McCollum yet getting time with the ones. Is safety an issue? If Drew Makuba can't play till week 4, 5, 6, kind of like Cooper Dejean, who was hurt last camp. Do I want them to make a safety addition? Maybe. But I still think edge might be the problem. Josh Uche had a very good day yesterday. Had a forced fumble on Jalen Hurts. Had a sack on Tanner McKee. Sack. First time we've heard something positive from the defensive line outside of Moro Jomo. Nolan Smith is out with a concussion. Not too concerned, but we'll see about that. Wrestling is scripted, and you can bet on it still. Exactly. That is all you got to say. That's it. That's the mic drop from Adam right there. It's a great point, and I would never bet on wrestling. Makuba can play the slot if needed. We have seen him before he got hurt play in the slot next to Cooper Dejean in dime formation. But Makuba's now missed, 2 or 3 practices in a row. He seems fragile because he got hurt on one play. I don't know. Was he banged up a lot in college? K1? Do you believe the Phillies acquire Rooker and Miller in a blockbuster deal realistic? You have swayed me to be okay if they went all in on Rooker. I don't like the fit with the defensive side of things. But if they swung for the fences and got Rooker and Miller, I'd be okay with it, Rick. Do I think it's a realistic thing to believe it'll happen? No, because I have zero confidence in Dave Dombrowski pulling the trigger. What's it going to take for Rooker and Miller? It's going to take Crawford. It's going to take Miller. It's going to take Abel and other things. And I don't think the Phillies or Dave Dombrowski has the balls to do it. I don't think he has the balls to even consider dangling Andrew Painter in a deal. So, will he do it? Maybe, maybe not. Am I confident that he'll do it? I am not confident that he'll do it at all. At all. Brown is physically talented, but is really meant to be a box safety. His decision-making isn't good enough to cover safety. Look, we're going to see. He's going to be the guy at this point that gets that starting job. He's going to be given every opportunity in preseason games. He's not one of these guys that's sitting in preseason games. He's going to get run in preseason. Sidney Brown's going to be one of those guys like Nolan Smith last year that were like, why is this guy still playing in the fourth quarter of preseason games? Because they need to get him on the field to really evaluate. And Justin Simmons is still sitting out there. I know that's what everybody wants. I'm not a Justin Simmons, have to have him type guy. But we'll see. Can't up the club from the top, exactly. Edge will be less of an issue in 3-4 with Davis, Robinson, and Carter. Ty Robinson's had a up and down camp so far for rookie. He's had some okay days and some bad days. I still worry about Uche and Ojulari being enough. Antoine Powell-Ryland hasn't impressed enough yet. He'll be there eventually in a couple of years. If something happens to Nolan Smith or Alex Hunt, we are very weak at that position. Just my thoughts. Pretty much anything you watch on TV you can bet on. Absolutely. Edge is strong, just not as strong as last year, but with possible upgrades to defensive tackle positions, should be able to open up. Yeah, the other thing with the edge is some of those guys at defensive tackle, Ty Robinson, Moro Jomo, Thomas Booker, they can play outside. They can get after. Hell, Jalen Carter, there was talk when he was a rookie about lining him on the outside to pass rush. So there is a lot you could play around with there. I can't go by July injuries since the risk is so much higher due to dehydration. That's fair. It's fair. NFL years ago quietly switched from a sports entity to an entertainment entity so as to allow scripting and rigging with no legal consequences. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine it was actually proven that they were really scripting games and seasons? Like, it would be the end of sports as we know it in America. Like, it's crazy. Skull, the guy from the Indians for Mick Abel. Quan, the outfielder, I'm on board with that. I am on board with that. We're not going after Klaas now with his gambling issue. But Quan I would have gone Quan and Clace. I'm glad we didn't because of the pending suspension. But, I'll go for Quan for McAble. Go for it. Speaking of fixed, I want the lowdown on this crown bullshit. What? I don't even know what you're talking about there. Bednar for Abel and Aaron Escobar, I believe, is coming. Fangio had glowing praise for Sid Brown yesterday. Yep, that's why I just said that. He had glowing praise for Sidney Brown, and then very conservative praise for Jihaad Campbell, saying he's making small strides every day. All right? That's what you love about Vic Fangio. When the going's good, he'll give you the praise. When you're not living up to his expectations, he'll let you know that you're not living up to his expectations. And that is what makes Vic Fangio such a special coach here. Guys, we only got 13 likes. Haven't gained new subscribers, guys. Hit that like, subscribe, share button, vote in the poll. 19 votes so far in the poll. No, I'm not saying anything negative about Ty Robinson. I'm just saying that right now he's still sometimes rookies take time to develop. There are people that are expecting big things from Ty Robinson day one. It's going to take some time. I worry about getting cooked on jet sweeps, bluff motion, and contain. Valid concerns. Watch the Eagles use Carter more as Aaron Donald roll all over the line. And I am perfectly fine with that, Tim. Perfectly fine with that. Pass rush might be even better this year than last year by season's end. By season's end. Not immediately. By season's end. So the Vanilla Gorilla won't get to be a part of the Amazing Whites, I guess. Not immediately. A good edge, very rare. That's why they paid fortune. Yeah, that's true. And they do. And Trey Hendrickson, by the way, is reporting to Bengals camp without his extension. Will he practice or not? Kind of like a Terry McLaurin. Instead of a hold out, a hold in. I love the hold in thing. I'm here, but I'm hurt. I can't practice. Kind of crazy. You report it like you're a reporter. Are you a beat reporter now, Rick? You reported it. You're making it sound like you're there with Jim Salisbury, neck and neck, reporting these things. The NFL moving it to entertainment because they wanted to bring TV, movie licensing, commercial licensing, etc. back in-house. They had several. Yes, absolutely. I do remember that conversation. Sad part of the deadline is that Marsh has hit 300 the past 3 months. Dave won't do shit. He's Daryl Morey in disguise. Who do you have more confidence in, Daryl Morey or Dave Dombrowski? It's neck and neck in lack of confidence between those two. I've said it plenty of times over the last couple of weeks, Tim. Brandon Marsh is not getting the respect he deserves for how he turned his season around. Now we need to see Bryce and Stott turn around. And I still don't know what you do with Bryce and Stott. Eagles defense will be absolutely filthy this year. Nant. Beating that. Yeah, I don't know. When Bills, the Hard Knocks, I don't know. Didn't that already come out? I don't know. I haven't watched Hard Knocks in ages. I know I'll probably watch it this year when the Eagles are on the in-season episodes of Hard Knocks, but I haven't watched Hard Knocks in a long time. That's a fair thing. Dombrowski's at least won a championship. Morey is not. I mean, it's been a minute since Dombrowski has won one, but at least he's won one. Daryl Morey, acts like he's won 20, but has won Jack. I don't have confidence in Dave or Morey. Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's got to be the conversation: is Daryl Morey or Dave Dombrowski lost has the game passed him by? And I really hope this is his job is on the line. I hope he really is being pushed by John Middleton to make the necessary moves. I really do. Stott's wife was pregnant, and that could have been on his head. He's still playing great defense, yeah. I don't know about the wife being pregnant. If every wife that got pregnant in baseball, affected a player, there'd be a lot of bad baseball players out there or underperforming. Dombrowski is one too, technically. Same as Howie, technically. Dombrowski is better because the Phillies win more and overall better managed. Morey shows no competence. Dude, smash the Sixers under. They're projected at 41.5 wins. Talking gambling. There ain't no way they're winning that unless we get a miracle. God comes down and physically touches Joel Embiid's knee. And even then, it might not work. I have catchphrases? I didn't know I had catchphrases. Are you all worried about how Zach Wheeler going to hold up? He's thrown over 600 innings the last 3 seasons. I'm not too concerned about Zach Wheeler this year. Now, will that be a problem next year? Maybe he will start to wear down. He's already said that this contract is his last contract, then he's retiring. He's one of those athletes that cares more about family than the sport. Baseball's a way to make a living and a life for his family, not I got to be a part of baseball forever. I'm not worried about him this year. But big picture, sure. Definitely concerned about it. If we have a final playoff out resulting in another Jake Cave like at bat, the city, oh my God. Why would you even bring that up? Jake Cave should never have been making that out. Should never have been in that spot. Wheeler and Sanchez are fine. Every starting pitcher will have hiccups. I don't think he's asking it because of that. I think it's a valid big picture question over the next couple of years. What's he got? 2 years left on his deal, Zach Wheeler? I think it's a concern. I mean, he's obviously had arm trouble early in his career. Phil, I'm not even going to touch him. Yeah. John, God would touch his knee, and like the knee would infect God's finger, and it would fall off or something like that. Yeah, like, look. My concerns have always been and continue to be Aaron Nola. I think he's scheduled to go to a rehab start late this week, beginning of next week. We'll see. At least Jesus Luzardo pitched well yesterday. Dave is counting on Marsh and JT continuing what they've done, and Nola coming back and being good. He's failing the team. Yeah, Dave Dombrowski is thinking that those things are your trade acquisitions, right? Because you can take Nola, put him in the rotation, and put Luzardo in the pen, and that solves your bullpen issues. That's a joke. A complete and total joke. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe, please. And drop any and all comments. With the upcoming probable lockout coming in baseball in 27, I agree. I think this is a great point, Rick, and I've said this a few times. If there's really going to be a lockout, you push all in. You might lose all of 2027. So no saving a prospect for 2 years from now when there might not be baseball in 2 years. Alvarado and Nola will be like two more. Yeah, well, again, let's not talk about Jose Alvarado because obviously you completely hate my Jose Alvarado opinion. So Nola, is he fried or can he get back his groove? I think I'm fairly confident that Nola can get his groove back, okay? Just like Stella, okay? But if I told you there was no concern at all, I'd be lying to you. I hope he just had dead arm and he's rested, he's healed, and he's good to go. Wheeler is not the kind of to push through the injury. He listens to his body. Absolutely. Also, hence why he's not going to be around forever. A lockout for both baseball and more likely basketball. I think there's going to be a lockout for both, without a doubt. I really, truly do. Basketball, at least, I don't think it's 2031 or 2032 when their thing, their agreement ends. So it's still a ways away. Count on Alvarado. Yeah, absolutely. Tim, you missed it. Go back and watch yesterday's last half of the show. We got a heated discussion about Alvarado and really fired me up. So I'm really not in the mood to get fired up. I got to conserve energy for today. It's been 2 weeks. David Robertson's still not pitching. He's not allowed to pitch till August 15th, I think. However, they structured his deal and assigned him to minor leagues and stuff like that to get built up. He's not allowed to pitch for the Phillies till August 15th. I think that's the date. August something. I think it's August 15th. Nola's time off will be a blessing in disguise. He'll come back strong. I hope so. I feel so. His track record says so. If you don't have that 1% of doubt, then you're lying to yourself. I don't think Nola gets it fully back until next year, if ever. Lots of miles. He does have lots of miles. They'll go green. It's been a minute. Fangio is one of the few remaining old-school coaches. He knows how to push buttons. I love it, Delco Green. Great comment, and it's absolutely accurate. And what a football player. Like, he never says, that guy. That was at least a quick stop of the internet this time. Internet is brutal. I'll reset my box after the show. Never down. Oh, you suck. You're terrible. But he always says, oh, he's making strides, but he's got to be better. He's got to do X, Y, and Z to earn a spot or earn a role. The only way to end sports gambling is to end sports. I mean, that's truth. That's truthful. Nola will be fine. He hasn't lost it, just hurt. Having the starters be this good allows Nola. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely true. Them being so good has given him some time. Is Garrett Stubbs going to be cut? No, why would they cut him? Brian Pop's midseason injury paid off for 87 for the Flyers, for sure. That's what she said. Yes, Phil, pay Spectrum. What's Spectrum? We live in Philadelphia. We don't have Spectrum here. Not mid-season, but shortened season. Rest your box. Yeah. You want me to rest my box? That is interesting. That is a weird thing to say, just so you know. But what is in the box? That would be my question right there. Guys, still no new subscribers. We're up to 16 likes. A little weak effort today on the show. Like, share, subscribe. We only got about 10 more minutes. I got to call it early today. I got to get in early for big orders today and tomorrow as well. Reset your box. Yeah, I got to reset the box. I got to reset the internet box upstairs. The router. All right, I got to reset the router. Okay? Reset the router. You could talk about energy, guys, but the life of this team was lost sending him to the minors. Marchand ain't the guy. The team has no life, no energy. Look, I'll admit I was wrong. I was one of those ones that wanted Stubbs demoted. Like, I didn't think there was a place for him on this team. That was me. I was one of those people that you couldn't have Stubbs because of the vibes. Maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe I was wrong on that, Tim. This team does lack a certain life or energy to it. They're not business-like approach. They're not energy approach. They're somewhere in the middle. They're just content. Luzardo is definitely not fixed yet. No, he is not. I know he had one good game last night. But, yeah, Luzardo is not fixed after one game against the White Sox. I'm sorry, honestly, I was thinking after the 6th inning when he was at like 70-some pitches that they should have pulled him to keep his confidence high. I'm glad they pulled him after 7 and 90 pitches and kept that confidence rolling into the next start. But I'm still massively concerned about Luzardo. Thompson stole the team's identity and molded him to his style. Big play, walk to the dugout, bad call, walk. They're lollygaggers. I love the word lollygaggers. Lollygaggers is a great word. It is. I've used lollygaggers a lot in my life. Some people call me a lollygagger because I'm not on Rumble. The pitching from the stretch is pretty scary. Yeah, like what goes into a pitcher struggling so much out of the stretch versus the windup? Why is that? What's the technicality on why a pitcher could struggle so much from the stretch, but not the windup? Like, I really don't know. Like, a lot of pitchers, there's starting pitchers that just choose just to go out of the stretch. Pretty much. Agreed. Lollygaggers from Bull Durham sums up the Phillies. It is. I think I played that on the show, or at least talked about it like a month or two ago. Greeting, Eric. Yes, you are a lollygagger for coming in late today. I never used the wind-up. I love the stretch too much. Like, why can a pitcher struggle so much from the stretch? Like, I really am not sure. Well, the show's about to end. Core strength demands are higher in the stretch. Really? I'm trying to think about that. I'm trying to imagine myself throwing, and I can't do it without actually throwing. Interesting. I'd have to think about that more. After the show, I'm going to get up and I'm going to throw a simulated pitch over here. I'll probably throw my arm out even without a baseball in it, but that's another subject just because I'm a freaking out-of-shape old man. But that's another whole subject. Anyway, guys, what do we got on tap tomorrow? We're still hesitant on whether it'll be a show tomorrow. I got a lot going on. But I will try to do at least an hour of a show tomorrow. But we'll definitely be back for Friday to recap the trade deadline for sure. This is how you tell the team lost its edge. Harper on big plays, just no emotion, does the job, walks the dugout. Thompson has ruined the team. Well, hey, Tim, of all people, you know you're not going to get me to crush you for criticizing Rob Thompson. You know that. You know my thoughts on him. 10-day IL for Phil. Yeah, oh, my God. I already got my left elbow is bleeped beyond belief. Like, it really, truly is. Just from sleeping on it the wrong way a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. Now, my right arm, I throw one time, I would tear every ligament in my elbow if I tried. I used to be able to throw a baseball really hard, by the way, just so you know. I used to be able to throw a football really far and a baseball very hard and very accurately. If I tried right now, God, if I tried to get a baseball and throw it over 65 miles an hour right now, I'd probably break every bone in my arm and tear every ligament in my arm, just so you know. That's just how out of shape I am right now. Where are you going? I go where I want to go. I go where the bills get paid. You don't pay the bills. Thank you very much, Rick. Yes, and yes, absolutely appreciate it. When did the Mets pass us up? They passed us like a week ago. I can only throw 70 now. I mean, if I stretched and give me a week of stretching, I could probably get over 70 now, but not much more. But just a straight up stand up, even if I just got like a running start and fired it, I don't know if I could get to 70 right now without hurting myself. There's a point in time where I was in the low to mid 80s with a pitch, but that's about it. Not anymore. I used to be able to throw a football pretty accurately, about 50, 60 yards down the field. And I used to be able to throw about a low to mid 80s fastball. But that's about it. Thank you, Adam. At 53, yeah, you should be thankful you could throw a ball at all. At that age, right? At least that's where I'm at with it too. Phillies are 500 since June 1st. Absolutely, we've been talking about it for a while, Tim. They got to make big moves, and we've pretty much got a little over 24 hours. Okay. 24 hours, we'll know. Well, a little over 24 hours. We'll know. And if there's no big moves, if it's just fringe moves again, let me tell you something. Friday's show here will either be a let's go, baby, Phillies all the day, or it's going to be like Dave Dombrowski needs to be fired. I'm not sure which way it'll be. I'm leaning towards the not excitement part, but we'll see. You can throw the football over that mountain? Yeah. Gotcha. All right, anyway, guys, it's time to wrap this baby up a little early today. Got to make the dough, literally and figuratively today. Normally the wife would go in early on a day like today so I could stay with you guys. But, sometimes I'm a nice husband, and her car doesn't have air conditioning. So she said, let's just go in together. And I said, sure, that's fine. Phils will tread water until the playoffs start and then get red hot. And they may, Rick. They may. But that is just blind optimism. 33 hours until Dave's speech about how they believe in the prospects and increase production. It's a possibility. What's up, mister? How you doing today? I do not want to play one-on-one. 10 years ago, sure, I would have taken you to the hoop. But, man, not today. Should the Phillies make one big move or 6 fringe moves? They're not going to make 6 fringe moves. They would make 2 fringe moves or 1 big move. If it's 2 fringe and 1 big, I'll go with the big move, depending on what the big move is. Yeah, have a great day, Judd. Everybody stay hydrated. It is going to be hot as fuck today. I guarantee you. Let's set to end this gambling discussion, we'll end it with a bet. I'm going to set the over-under today. I got a 10-hour shift at the shop today, 10 and a half hours. Over-under 6. And over. We'll put the over at -110, and we'll put the under at. There goes the internet again. At least that one was a quick one. Quick internet hiccup that time. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to go reset my box. The Sox want in the top 10 prospects for Lewis Roberts. Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants a lot. Everybody wants a lot. All right, anyway, guys, I got to wrap this up. Everybody have a great day. You can all stay in the chat and chat amongst yourselves if you like after the show ends. The intraweb, yeah. Friday will be 74 degrees. Good day are coming. Absolutely. I just got to power through today. Got to power through today. Got to think of bubbles up, baby. That's right. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you guys most likely tomorrow, but definitely Friday. Like, share, subscribe. Do all those things, guys. Go Birds. And bubbles up.